how to defeat the swamp's efforts to take down Trump's nominees. That's the focus of tonight's angle. It has been 15 months since the Trump inauguration, and yet there are still more than 500 positions across the federal government that have yet to be filled by Trump appointees. These range from Assistant Secretary of State for Political Military Affairs to Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security for Policy. Now, from my own experience in both the Education Department, the Transportation Department, and also at the White House, it's at that Assistant Secretary or maybe Associate Deputy level that's where all the work gets done. Well, the fault lies partly in the administration itself. Think about this. The Office of Presidential Personnel, it's really important. It runs the president's staffing, is now overburdened and understaffed. Obama's Office of Presidential Personnel had 3 times the staff of what Trump has. Now, it takes people, actual employees in that office, to process names, shepherd the vetting process, and do real follow-through on people who are suggested to various positions. Now, I realize that Trump wants to cut the size of government, but there are better places to cut than OPP. And, of course, most responsible for this travesty, though, of all these delays and all the foot-dragging are the Democrats. Stopping Trump from putting his own people in key positions, well, what does it do? Well, it's obvious. It slows down Trump's progress. 431 of President Trump's nominees have received Senate confirmation. That's a far lower number than any other president at this point in their terms. Now, Democrats have continuously invoked a rule that requires 30 hours of debate on many of Trump's appointees. So that means that nominees wait an average of 84 days for confirmation. That's a lot longer also than previous administrations. More than 50% of Trump's nominees for federal judgeships are still awaiting confirmation. Democrats' obstruction efforts are having a negative impact on the basic functions of our government. It causes inefficiencies, and it even can put our national security at risk. The Senate has yet to act on the nominations of several key diplomatic posts, most notably with Richard Grenell. The Harvard-educated diplomat is President Trump's nominee to be ambassador for Germany, and he's being held up by one Democrat senator, Jeff Merkley, of Oregon. Now, what could Mitch McConnell do to move things along as the Senate Majority Leader? Well, he could tell Chuck Schumer the following. Hey, Chuck, the Senate's not going to recess until you all start dispensing with this 30-hour rule and start allowing votes on key nominees. These guys want to get home on the weekends. You don't think they'll start picking up the pace? And if he needs to change or dispense with the filibuster rule, he may need to do that, too. You can't let this continue. Remember in 2013, then Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid blew up the filibuster rule for federal appointments in the executive branch, like cabinet officials, and the judicial branch. And this is how Obama was able to pack the lower courts as he did. Well, Trump could do the same here. Donald Trump's, frankly, been asking for that. But now some are looking to put another scalp on the wall, and I'm talking the Democrats. Who do they want? Mike Pompeo's scalp, Trump's CIA director, who has been nominated for Secretary of State. Now, during his confirmation hearing, America saw the Democrats' demonization game on full display. Auditioning for 2020 was New Jersey's Cory Booker.
Is being gay a perversion?
Senator, when I was a politician, I had a very clear view on whether it was appropriate for 2 same-sex persons to marry. I stand by that.
Do you believe that gay sex is a perversion? Yes or no?
Senator, if I can,
yes or no, sir. Do you believe that gay sex is a perversion?
Now, Democrats claim to be against discrimination, except when they're discriminating. So if you're someone who holds a traditional outlook, like any faithful Catholic, for instance, other Christians, should we now assume that you need not apply to any of these positions? Then there were swings and misses, like this one from Senator Jeanne Shaheen.
You were criticized at the CIA for undermining policies of the previous administration to improve diversity at the CIA.
I don't know the criticism that you're referring to. I have to tell you, I didn't undermine a single policy.
Well, I would just say Michael Weinstein, who is a former Air Force officer who founded the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, says that he has been seeing increasing complaints from those inside the intelligence community under your leadership.
The number of, we call them no-fear complaints, the statutory requirement, decreased from 2016 to 2017 by 40%.
Good.
I like the good. That's just pathetic. Come on. I mean, even Dianne Feinstein, who's usually more reasonable in these matters and voted to confirm Pompeo as CIA director just last year, she's announced that she's voting against him because he's too hawkish at a time when we need more diplomacy. Oh, okay. He only traveled to North Korea over Easter weekend, met with Kim Jong-un, and laid the groundwork for President Trump's upcoming negotiations with the communist regime. That's all. I mean, that is truly historic, and it could be a monumental move for peace. Oh, don't worry about that, Di-Fi. But the Democrats, let's face it, they don't care to let the facts get in the way. If the choice is supporting the anti-Trump resistance or supporting policies that deliver real results, the Democrats are going to choose the resistance every time. It is despicable. Now, consider some of the supposed reasons that some senators are now opposing Pompeo.
He has devalued religious tolerance and women's reproductive rights and health care, not only in this country, but around the world. I think he sets a poor example in terms of American values.
American values? Like, I don't know what you consider to be American, sir, but Mike Pompeo's life is a shining example of what sacrifice for nation is all about. First in his class at West Point, Harvard Law top of his class, popular congressman, stellar CIA director for the last year, who won the respect and trust of the President of the United States. 39 in the Democratic caucus are expected to vote no already on Pompeo, and 9 are undecided. This is the time to test the so-called moderate Senate Democrats from states that Trump won. Smartly, Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota just came out today as the first Democrat to support Pompeo's nomination, but no word yet on Senators Joe Donnelly of Indiana, Joe Manchin of West Virginia, and Claire McCaskill of Missouri. When those guys are out campaigning for re-election, as they are now, they're always claiming that, oh, I'm open to working with the president on issues where, you know, it's important for the American public. Well, let me talk to them here. Pompeo's nomination is a key issue for America. And those senators know, as well as I do, that he's more than a reasonable choice for Secretary of State. He is an excellent choice. And each of these senators should be called out and pressured to break with their leftist radical colleagues for the good of the nation. And if they don't vote for Pompeo, they are no more moderate than Cory Booker or Elizabeth Warren.